everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is day 21 of Junk Journal July, and today's prompt is contrast. So when I think of contrast, I think of a bunch of stuff. It could be, something that go together, like that competes with each other. It could be, something that repel from each other. It could be something like, light versus dark. It could be a ton of stuff. So what I thought I would do is use my paper to have a contrast. So these are the two colors that I picked. And I mean, they kind of go together, but my thought process was, this is like super dark and small pattern. And this is, a lot lighter and it has a big bold pattern. So even though the two of them kind of go together, there's a stark difference between the two papers. So that's how I'm taking contrast today, and this is what we're going to do. So I thought because our journal is getting super chunky and, the spots that we have available to write in are getting, they're there, but it's kind of going to be hard to write because, it's so thick and we're not even done yet. So I thought I would make, a little writing board. And if you don't know what that is, because I was actually unaware of what it was until recently, it's just a little board. Well, I mean, it's as big as your journal. It's a board that you can flip in your journal on whatever page you're writing on. Say you're writing on this page, you slip it in here, and it creates like a solid base to do your journaling on. And then you take it out and you can slip it in the next spot that you want to write on. And it gives you like a solid base even when there's like a ton of like lumps and bumps and like chunk and bulk in your journal. So usually it's made to the same size as your page or maybe just barely bigger. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like 3.5 by 3.25. So all I have here to start out with is it's not super thick, but it's not real thin either. Chipboard, and you could use, if you don't have chipboard, you could use cardboard, or you can use real thick cardstock. Kind of whatever you have. I have a whole bunch of this, so I kind of want to use it just to kind of get rid of it. So that's just what I'm using today. And then now usually, of course, there's always an exception to the rule. But usually, a writing board is not overly decorated because you want to keep it flat. So if it is decorated, most of the time the paper does the decorating. So that, and then we'll check and make for sure that it's a good size to be in our journal, because you want to make for sure that it kind of goes the whole width of the paper, and it does. So that's good. And it sticks out just a little bit on the side. So that'll be perfectly fine. But it tucks in, so you're not going to notice it. All right. So basically we're just going to cover this. And I'm going to do the whole entire thing. That way, it's all covered. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac just because I think it maybe holds a little bit better. So I'm just going to cover the whole thing and then just glue it straight down, and I'll do that for both sides. that. And I think just to make it easy, I'm just gonna use my ruler and tear it. That. And then I'm going to try, after I get the other piece glued down, I'm going to try and round the corners, but I'm not sure if my corner rounder will punch through them. So we'll see. I would like to, but I'm not sure. I mean, you can always just round it with a pair of scissors. And I mean, if you don't have thicker cardboard or cardstock or whatever, you can always just glue some pages together. Because I mean, you glue paper together, it's gonna end up being, in the end, it's gonna end up getting pretty thick. So you could always just do that if you didn't have something else. But a good way to get cardboard is just to keep some of your boxes from your food. So I have a bunch of boxes sitting on my desk over here, and I want to try and do some journal covers for them. So I think maybe one of these days that'll be one of my projects that I come on and do. So there's that. Now you could even probably wrap this in fabric if you wanted to, I would think. Um, and I'm not going to guarantee anything if this is going to punch or not, but we'll try it. Oh, it does. Look at that. And if it's really loud, I'm sorry. It is actually kind of loud, but I'm just glad it's punching. All right, cool. So now we're just going to ink around it. Let's see. I think I'm going to do like a green color because it'll show up on this side. It won't show up as much on this side, but you'll get it a little bit in the polka dot. Okay. So this is the color I'm going to use. It's like a mossy green. I'm going to try my new daubers from Timu. If my video hasn't gone up yet, which I'm not sure it will or not, because I just filmed it. I have a Timu haul video that I just did, so if it didn't go up already, look for that. It'll be up in a day or two. So we'll see. We'll see how the little daubers work. I mean, overall, they work really well. They do what they're supposed to do. My only issue with them, and I've never used any of the other ones, so like from Tim Holtz or anything. My only issue is they're really big on your fingers, so you really have to hold on to it tight. I just wish they were a little smaller, but if that's the only issue, I probably can deal with that. I mean, they ink really, really well. So I guess that's the main thing, that you want it to do. So I'm just going around the middle as well, just to make for sure that that center is good and inked up, so you don't really tell too much. I mean, it definitely goes a lot faster with this as opposed to the cosmetic sponges that I was using. So yeah, I mean, overall, I like it. Okay, so now we have that. Now, if we want to, I know I said, not to do too much um, decorating, and I'm not going to, but I thought maybe we could do like a picture or something just to make it somewhat decorative. Um, and since we have polka dots and tropical, I think maybe I'll see if I can find something from um, some of the National Geographic books that I've been hearing out. Some of this is the space one for my flip flop journal that I'm working on. But in the bottom here, I think there's some other stuff. So let's see if I can find anything. Okay, so I paused it so that I could look through and see what I could find. So I came up with this picture. So I've said a couple of times on my videos, I got a whole bunch of National Geographic books at the yard sale, and they're from like all different years. I think the earliest was like late 40s or something. So I'm going through them, pulling out pieces like this and stuff that would make good like journal cards or pieces of ephemera and things like that. So I have some of it done. I just recently started going through it. But I don't have all of it done yet. So, and I have to organize it all by what it is. But if you find stuff like that, it's really a good idea to get it because it's, really nice pieces of ephemera. And especially if you get the older ones, um, a lot of it, is like older kind of advertisements and, just like older pictures that look totally different than the pictures that we get in magazines today. But even like newer magazines, it's so good, especially if you can get like some interior design magazines and whatnot. So I think I'm going to do it on this side. I was going to do it on this side because this would be the obvious choice. But because it's contrast, I think I'm going to do it on this side to give just a little bit of a different look to it. And I'm only going to do it on one side. I mean, it's not going to make a difference when you're writing, but it's always nice to have something that looks pretty. So there's that. And then I think maybe if I get some washi that would go with it, we could kind of put it down the side. So I'm going to pause one more time and then I'll go find some washi. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to go with the red polka dot. And it kind of goes together, but at the same time, like, you have green and red and it doesn't look Christmassy at all, but it's a little bit of a contrast in the respect that, most times you wouldn't think of putting those two things together. So that should be good. And I'm just going to recess it in just a little bit because I like that look. And then now do we want to completely wrap it? I actually think I'm going to wrap it all the way around. Let's just run some more on the tape or on the glue. Oops, I'm off camera, sorry. Just like that. Yeah, I think that's cute. And then I'll just cut it. That way it kind of decorates this side just a little bit as well. Yeah, so that's cute, I think. And to make sure it stays flat, I'm not going to decorate it anymore, I don't think. I think this is enough. I don't think it needs anything else, honestly. So let's bring it in and try it in our journal. Alright, so let's see. Okay, take this page for an example. So the page itself is kind of thin, and then you have, this part to write on, and then you open it up, and then you have like this part here. So you could take your, writing board when it's folded out, and you could write on it, like this. Or let's say, you want to color on it a little bit. You can put your writing board, and then you could color, and it gives it a nice sturdy base. And then back here, where we have our little, charm, it's pretty bumpy. I mean, it's pretty thick. So if you were trying to write with that, it wouldn't work. I don't know if you can really see it. It's raised up quite a bit. Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to write on it. But if you put this on it, it gives a flat surface. So see, the whole surface is flat. It's not bumpy. And it'd be easy, just to take your pen and just to write on it, journal on it, whatever. And then like on this side where it's thick because it's getting towards this end of it, you put your writing thing in, and then you can just write on that. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like my video by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I can't wait to see what everybody else has come up with today for contrast. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for day 22, which is pockets. So that should be fun because I like to add tons of pockets to my stuff. So I hope you guys will give it a try to make a writing tablet. And as always, happy crafting. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.